And good evening. I'm Tracy Sinclair. With me, of course, Christina Campbell. Some of your two favorite weather people. I was going to say your two favorite weather people, but I'm kind of thinking that Jackie and Melissa probably beat us.
And Aaron and Robert.
And Aaron and Robert.
Yeah.
So we're in the mix.
Right.
But we absolutely are in the mix. And we want to talk a little bit about the first week of 2025. It's looking to be a bit of a doozy. Now, we've been in this extreme cold for several days. That's already starting to change here in the Anchorage area. So if you're watching, we'd love to see where you're watching from. So send us a note on Facebook and we'll make sure we can kind of incorporate your part of the state in this as well. So Christina, kind of start us off. What are we looking at out there?
We have a lot of active weather just about over the entire state. So we are starting off with a bang. Right now we're going to start with our current temperature in the Anchorage area. Of course, things are looking pretty mild and calm for now. And if we can let's see if we can get this going. There we go. So right now 21 degrees. So we've seen a bit of a warm up. We've had that cold snap for the last couple of days, but we still have those north winds. So it's still feeling a little bit colder out there. And our temperatures across the metro area in the lower 20s. You can see how much we've climbed. It's still 14, a little bit cooler at DeArmond, upper DeArmond that is. And right now statewide, all the bitter cold temperatures you saw over the past week were really confined to the interior, but Fairbanks, if you'll notice, now finally into the single digits, out of the double sub-zero range, which is, boy, what a warm up.
I know. I was looking at that. I'm like, Fairbanks, you guys are at one above. Now, Dead Horse, sorry.
No. Yeah.
You're not quite there. You are still at 31 below. That is still, I mean, it's amazingly cold, of course, anytime we get below. But the fact that Fairbanks, it's been days and days and days since you've gone above that zero mark.
That's right. So this is like almost short weather and flip-flop weather from what you've been seeing over the last couple of days. Not literally. It's still cold out there, make no mistake about it. But it is a big warm up. And we're going to see things get a little bit warmer even still. But we do have, as you've just seen, lots of watches, warnings, alerts starting on the west coast, Point Lay to Point Hope, Shishmaref, Wales, Savunga, Gamble, all looking at gusts to 70 miles per hour. And this is through Tuesday, tonight through Tuesday. So that's in effect. Then we head out to the southeast where there's a winter storm warning there for the northern panhandle. Heavy snow and gusts to 35 miles per hour expected there, Skagway, Haines, and a watch in effect for the Juneau area through Monday. So this is tonight through Monday. And then, of course, we head to Thompson Pass where there's a winter storm warning for heavy mixed precipitation. Thompson Pass usually gets all that heavy snow. Add to that ice accumulations of up to 2/10 of an inch expected. And then wind advisory for the interior. And I forgot to mention near Cordova, hurricane force winds off coast, but still in the area, which means Cordova is really looking at gusts about 80, 85 miles per hour. So it's going to be wet, windy, mixed precipitation, snow at the higher elevations, just a real mess of weather for the entire southern coastline.
Well, and one of the things, like I talk to a lot of my friends in the lower 48 and we talk about the weather. Up here in Alaska, you know, everybody knows this, we're used to snow, and then it sticks around, and so we kind of wear down to the pavement. We don't get the ice accumulation, but you just said in Thompson Pass, we're going to see ice accumulating.
2/10 of an inch, yeah, in a lot of areas, not just Thompson Pass. We may get up to a 1/10 of an inch in the Anchorage area. Right now we have a watch and an advisory in effect, which means, as you know, that it's possible. If it was a warning, it would mean it's imminent, it's going to happen, prepare for it. But you should prepare for it nonetheless, even with a watch that we have in effect right now, because it's very likely that some spots are going to see ice accumulation, freezing rain, mixture of rain and snow. And then some areas like Homer and Kodiak, where temperatures are well above freezing, are likely just to see all-out rain.
All-out rain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So let's jump back in. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I was kind of shocked when you said ice, because we really don't get that ice accumulation like they do in the lower 48. We tend to get snow and then be done with it.
Right. So that is definitely in the forecast. That high wind watch for the interior in effect. This is Healy, Denali, the Parks Highway. This is through Tuesday. The eastern Alaska range you see in the blue. There's a winter storm watch there. Heavy snow, gusts to 60 miles per hour through Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, all beginning pretty much tonight and mainly tomorrow. Winter weather advisory for the Copper River Basin. They could see heavy snow because they do have the cold air still in place, colder temperatures.
Yeah, a little bit.
And all this wet, active weather moving in. So they could see anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow in the Copper River Basin area. And then, of course, as we head further to the south, this includes Houston, Palmer, Birchwood, all the way down to Anchorage and Girdwood, Alyeska. A high wind watch. This is Monday night through Tuesday night. Again, tomorrow. And we're talking gusts to 85 miles per hour. I'm guessing if we do get those gusts, Hilltop and Alyeska will likely close because you can't run chairlifts when the winds are gusting that high. But again, this is a watch, which means it's possible. And this does include the Hillside, Portage, and Turnagain Arm, the usual areas that usually see the gusty winds. And then there's also that winter weather advisory for the same area, the Anchorage-Matsu Valley area, with freezing rain. Now here in our area, we can see about a fourth, not as much as Thompson Pass, but a fourth of an inch of ice accumulation in spots, maybe not the entire area, and maybe possibly an inch of snow depending on where our temperature is. Right now we're hovering for our daytime highs right at about 32. That doesn't mean every spot in the Anchorage Bowl area and Matsu is going to get 32 degrees. Some may get 33, some may get 29, 28. So depending on where you are in town, that will determine what type of precipitation. In any case, it's going to be mixed, it's going to be icy, it's going to be hazardous on the roadways. So you really want to give yourself extra drive time.
And does this includes the valley as well?
Yes, it does.
And so when does this start? Like, are we talking tomorrow morning's commute or tomorrow evening's drive home?
Through tomorrow night. That's going to be the brunt of it. So the watch and the advisory is in effect now through Monday night. And one thing I forgot to mention is the Matsu Valley, Palmer and Wasilla, you are likely to see some very gusty winds as well. So keep that in mind as you're out traveling about, or if you're going to be out in any capacity, that we're going to have a real mixture of all kinds of weather in the area for the entire south central region.
Okay, let's go ahead and jump back in and see what's, do we have another way to look at the whole state? There we go. This is what I'm curious about. What are we talking about?
A lot of people have been asking about the snowfall. The eastern side of the Kenai Peninsula is likely to get the heavier snowfall. Again, this is through Monday night, tomorrow night. So Whittier, Portage will likely see the heaviest snowfall. And again, Valdez, that's the Cordova area, not Valdez in town. They'll likely see less snowfall. And Seward could also see a little bit of snowfall. If you're on the west side, the leeward side, you're not likely to see a whole lot of snow. But here's the model showing all of this mix of precipitation. Of course, in the pink is the freezing rain, the green is the rain, and the snow is at the higher elevations in the purple and the white. So if you look at it, it sticks around, but it shrinks up by Tuesday. So again, Monday to Monday night is the brunt of it, and that will also be the windstorm that moves in. In terms of the state forecast, some of northern Alaska, Utqiagvik to Dead Horse and Fairbanks, still looking at some clear skies, at least partial. Some clouds will be on the increase, but notice the entire southern coastline, Unalaska, Cold Bay, Dillingham, all the way to Juneau, except for Dillingham, our temperatures are above freezing. Ketchikan, likely to see a high of 44 and a little bit of sunshine, believe it or not. They're at the tail end of this, so they're not likely to get a whole lot of this, but very windy, rainy weather for the entire southeast, gusts to 40 miles per hour at Sitka, to 30 at Haines, and again the Kenai Peninsula, Kodiak, looking at gusts to 30 miles per hour, and very rainy weather, mixture of rain and snow, again depending on where you are and where your temperature sits. Soldotna, Kenai may see some snow. The Copper River Basin, again Glen Allen, Gulkana, likely to see a little bit of snowfall with a mixture elsewhere, and very gusty winds for Cordova.
See those 70 mile per hour gusts, into the valley as well. So
Yes.
be prepared for that.
And some of these winds are out of the south. The ones you saw in the Prince William Sound area, those are those southeast winds. Some people like to call them Chinooks. I like to call them snow eater winds because they melt off all of the snow that happens to be on the ground. But in any case, we are going to see those gusty winds for the entire south central region. Girdwood, again, gusts possible to 85 miles per hour and along the arm and the upper hillside. And our extended forecast, it does get a little bit better, Tracy. By Tuesday, we start to see the winds die down, and we still have mixed precipitation, maybe not freezing rain, but a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow in some spots. And then we clear up on Wednesday, but we see these are like a series of little lows and storms that are moving into the Gulf area. So a chance of morning snow likely on Thursday, and again on Friday through Sunday. Now, this is well needed snow. If we can keep it as snow, it'd be nice to have some regular winter weather.
Yeah.
Not only for outdoor enthusiasts, but to make things a little bit easier on drivers and walkers and anyone that is going to be outdoors. So we're looking forward to that. May not be a whole lot, but even a little bit helps.
Yeah, and just brighten things up a little bit. And Arnold, I noticed that you were asking about Gamble and Savunga over on St. Lawrence Island. High winds, that's going to be the issue over in your part of the state. So just kind of be prepared for that. Still in a watch for that area?
That's a warning, which means you are going to see gusts to 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, so be prepared over on St. Lawrence Island area. And really South Central, it's going to be a mess just kind of throughout the region. Once you get over the Alaska Range, of course, that's going to block a lot of that warmth from continuing into the interior, but it is warming up even a little bit across there. So we can see that temperature above zero in the Fairbanks area.
Yes.
So that's always good news. And
into the 20s for the Fairbanks and interior area throughout the work week. So that'll be a really nice forecast.
I'm reading what Ann wrote. Interesting, when I first moved up here in 1995, winters were normally negative temperatures in Anchorage. Yeah, it's not completely out of the realm now, but we definitely did have longer periods of just staying below zero and just being frozen. I remember getting up in the middle of the night because I didn't have a heater on my car, so I'd wake up in the middle of the night, put my parka on, and go sit in the car
to warm it up
at like 2 in the morning so that it would start the next morning.
Yeah.
And haven't had to do that in years, but it was staying 20 below overnight for weeks at a time, so you got very good at it. So we are definitely seeing slightly warmer temperatures from that. Now I'm going to let Christina go because she has to go get ready for the late edition, which is coming up here in just a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe. We do have a lot of advisories, warnings, and watches across the state, mainly dealing with these systems that are moving through the Gulf. It's going to be a messy couple of days, and then hopefully things will calm down a little bit and get. We want that normal weather.
Right, normal winter weather.
Normal winter weather is what we're looking for. So thank you so much for joining us on Alaska's News Source.